Hey Archery Talk, this is Lucas, and tonight I've got a new product I want to share with you. This is the Wifler Industries Phoenix Hinge release. Wifler Industries, if you don't know, is basically Alex Wifler's company. Alex Wifler is a professional archer. He's won the big Vegas indoor shoot, the biggest archery shoot in the world. He's won the Lancaster Archery Classic. And now he's into product development, and one of the first new products his company has is this new release aid. So he sent this over to me for some testing, and this is really the only kind of release I generally shoot. I just shoot a hinge. If you've seen any of my other videos, you might know that I've struggled with target panic over the years. So hinge release is what I use for everything from hunting to target shooting and so on. So let's pop open the box here real quick, and we'll kind of do a quick look at what comes inside. And here it is. This release is available in both aluminum, which this is a lighter weight one, and another material called Metal X. It's just basically a heavier version, sort of like a brass release, I'm guessing, but I think it's coated. You can also get this in a bunch of different colors. It comes in, this one's black. It also comes in red, blue, and purple. And this comes as a 3-finger. I believe you could switch it to a 2-finger, and if memory serves, I believe he's got a 4-finger version on the way as well. Not quite ready for prime time yet, but I suspect that'll be coming up in the near future. What I'm going to do now is move the camera over my shoulder, and we'll kind of go into details and show you everything that this release can do, all the adjustments you can make to hopefully make it fit you better. And let's get started on that right now. All right, well, there's a number of different kind of things we can do to adjust this release aid. First, I guess we'll show you how to change it from a 3-finger to a 2-finger. So right now it comes from the box as a 3-finger setup. So all we've got to do to turn it into a 2-finger is unscrew these two little screws here. Put that down on my towel there so we don't hear it rattling on the table. Get that other one out of there. And just like that, pops right out. If you want to put it back in, just as easy. I'm actually going to experiment with this thing as a 2-finger. I've long wanted to shoot a 2-finger release aid. I just didn't want to buy one in case I didn't want to have it and have to put it back. This gives me the option to choose either way. So I'm going to give it a try this way for a little while and kind of see how that works, at least for me. Another thing worth bringing up is the hook on this release aid right here is coated with something the company is calling Imperium. I have no idea what that is. Very possible it's the name they've just made up, but the idea is it's smooth. It makes it as smooth as possible so it doesn't catch on your D-loop. It's supposed to be smooth at all times, so we'll see how that goes. I never really had a big problem with the smoothness of my hooks before, but you know, I'm happy to try anything new. Now it's time to adjust how much movement it will require to make this release fire. This is a hinge-based release, so basically it fires basically by rotating it. You know, you're not supposed to yank on it, otherwise you're just going to get your own form of target panic. But anyway, you can change how much you need to move that release by using this very interesting and unique mechanism that you've got in here. I'm going to, first things first, is just kind of unlock it with this Allen key that came with the release. And all you got to do is just crack it unlock. You don't want to move it a lot right now. One little crack, that's it. That's all it takes. And now we're going to use that same Allen key, which is, I love that. I hate when they have to use multiple Allen keys for the same kind of job. And you come in this little hex spot here, and then you make your release. So if I go counterclockwise, it's going to make the release go hotter. So it kind of rotates the movement up that way. And if I go clockwise, it's going to make it go a little colder. And so see if I'm going to change the angle here and see if you can see how this thing moves in here. It's very cool. What makes this unique is that it's on a set of gears. So these are actually metal on metal gears. This will never come loose. I've never seen that before. It's an interesting way to make that change. And it seems to work really well in the early going. I've not really done a lot of experimenting with it so far. But I mean, metal on metal is always a bonus when you want things to stay secure. And then you just have to lock it back up again. You're in business. The key really to use this is to make it just barely unlock it. Like if you unlock it a lot, like you do an 1/8 of a turn or a quarter turn, then you can just move the moon with your thumb, which kind of defeats the purpose of making those small movements. So when you unlock it, just give it the slightest little turn. Ding, just uncrack it. You're looking at maybe a 1/16 of a turn before you go in there and set it up how you want it to be. Very cool. Another adjustment we can make on the Phoenix is changing this release from a click to a no click. So right now it comes from the factory with no click on it at all. So when the release fires, it just smoothly fires. I personally like to shoot mine with a click. The click helps me set up my shot. And so all I've got to do is flip over the moon. And to do that, we just have to take this pin out. Oddly, there's no screws in here whatsoever. It's all just in there with these little pins. So to take the pin out, you just go unlock this, but unlock it quite a bit more now. So you can put like a full turn in there if you like. And you rotate the moon so it's upside down. And then now that pin can just get poked out. And now it all comes apart, and I just got to flip the moon back around again. So all you got to do is just turn the moon this way. And that's it. I'm gonna put this back together. It's gonna take me a second to do that. It's a little cumbersome when you're a bit of a clumsy person like I am, but I'm gonna try to do that right now, and then we'll come back to you. So all right, this took me 2 minutes to kind of get everything back together again, but once you get the pin back into place, you center it, and you just lock it down. When you're using this lock screw, your best bet is to do it very gently. You don't want to lock it tight because you might damage the gears. So just lock it kind of, don't crank on it. So I'm going to loosen it again to get the moon facing the right way. And then we're going to see what else we can do. So the one thing you can't adjust on here that maybe I would like to play with is the thumb peg. I will say that the thumb peg screw is super long, which should make it very stable and hopefully stop it from bending, which is great. And you can switch it for, I'm set up for right-handed. Just flip it over here if you want to go lefty. But it's nice to have different options for positions for your thumb peg. So we'll see how this goes for me. Again, I haven't played with it yet. I haven't shot it yet, so I don't know how I'm going to like it. But it's sometimes you can get an adjustable peg. The folks at UltraView Archery make some interesting pegs called, I think, funky knobs or something like that, and they come in different shapes and sizes, so you can get a different level of grip. And if I don't like how this one works, I might go experiment and pick up one of those. Another interesting feature on the Phoenix is kind of the wideness of the finger beds. Compared to the stand I'm shooting right now, it's a little narrower and rounder in here. These ones are a little wider and flatter. See if I can get that on camera for you. Not huge. I mean, I have fairly big hands, so it's not a huge concern of mine. But I'm curious how I think Alex Wifler did that with the thought that he likes the stability I think that a wider finger bed gives him. And it does taper up a little bit. It's not like your finger's just on a flat surface here. I don't know if I can get that on the camera or not, but it does taper slightly up. And where it's flat down there is much narrower. But it's still a little flatter feeling than the stand I'm shooting right now. So we'll have to see how I like that long term. All right, folks, here's my magical release aid training device made from paracord and like a plumber's wrench. If you've ever replaced the bathroom sink in your house, you get one of these with the kit. And I've kind of hastily put this together. I had another one that a friend gave me, and I've misplaced it, so this one I just made for this. So I'm just going to pull this back a couple times and see how I like the level of the hot and cold of this release aid. And you can hear the click here. There it is. So that might be a touch cold for me. So I'm just going to do a quick little bit of surgery here. Unlatch that just a hair. And then just move the moon a little bit this way. We'll try it again. It's quick and easy to do these things. And again, I don't know if I'm going to keep this two-finger style on here. I just want to experiment with it. I've always wanted to try a two-finger release. And I've been too cheap to get one, so this is a good experiment. So that might be, again, that's close. Might be a hair hot. I might tweak that a little bit afterwards, but ultimately it feels pretty good in the hand. You hear that click right before the shot. Some people don't like that click because it feels like it gives them a little anxiety. But when I've got the click in place, it's really just there to set up my shot. So when I'm drawing the bow, if I'm drawing the bow back and I hear the click, I know I've gone too fast and I have to reset, start again. And so I go in here, once I hear the click, that's when I start pulling through my shot. So your mileage may vary. I think Alex prefers no click, but regardless. I'm gonna experiment with this. I'll have a full review probably in a couple months after I got thousands of shots through this thing. Visit wiflerindustries.com for more information. I think these retail for about $200 for the aluminum one and $250 for the Metal X. I think you can find it at some other online retailers like Lancaster Archery, I think has them in stock. And I think that's about it, Archery Talk. Thank you so much for watching. Please do like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you again soon.